Hello, welcome to the Third Man Cricket Show for the post-match show of South Africa versus Bangladesh, and it has completely been a one-sided contest. South Africa winning by 6 wickets, as you can see at the bottom of your screen. First opinions, guys. Abhinav, Ankit have joined me here, and I would just like to know complete domination from South Africa. Bangladesh and Sri Lanka are effectively out of the T20 World Cup. But what are your first reactions on the game?
Yeah, I think South Africa have done themselves a world of good by getting a huge win in terms of net run rate. Because, like we mentioned in the pre-match show, that net run rate could come into the picture if two teams, and that hopefully will be South Africa and Australia, and one of them could go out on net run rate. If now South Africa will be hoping, and they will give it a go in their final game against England, while Australia will be hoping that they lose that game. So I think Group One is better placed than Group Two.
Exactly. And Ankit, coming to you, what are your views on this game? Because nothing is going right for Bangladesh, not just in this game, but in the whole tournament, as we can say.
I think that's why it is said that bowlers win you tournaments, and I think South Africa have reflect that in this match. I think by dominating in the bowling performance, and when they came out to chase, they were a bit calm. I think still the margin of the win could have been better. I mean, if England could have been in that situation, they would have won it in 7-8 overs. So I think at least in 10 overs they could have almost boost more the run rate of them, because still Australia still have the matches against Bangladesh and West Indies, and you never know, they are a dangerous team too. So I think at least they could have tried to finish in 10 overs, so that could have been a more boost. But still, a margin of 6 overs is not bad for the net run rate, and I think now they can back themselves to beat England in Sharjah. So I think this is gonna be a good situation in the Group A, which is created now, because Australia is now under pressure, because when Australia won couple of matches startingly, I thought Australia could be the one of the two teams, but now they are in the situation where they have to make sure to win the matches by big margins to overcome South Africa.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
let's not
exactly. And I
forget that
think
Australia didn't do very well when they last played West Indies in a five-match T20 series. They lost it 4-1, and this West Indies side is pretty much similar to that West Indies side. So I think West Indies are in contention to cause the first. I
Even they
won't say.
lost to Bangladesh, right? Even
Sorry.
they lost to Bangladesh. Even they lost to
Yeah, but
Bangladesh series.
yeah, but they beat Australia 4-1 in the recently concluded bilateral series. And both the sides are pretty much similar to what they have now. So I think West Indies are a slight favor, 51-49 in favor of West Indies. That will do South Africa a huge favor.
Well, exactly, and I think the South Africans wanted to just be sure that they win this game, and hence they took a bit more time, as Ankit mentioned, 14 overs, rather than just looking to finish it in a hurry, because all they needed was those 2 points to go on board, and now they have done themselves a world of good, as Abhinav rightly mentioned. But coming to the South African bowling, I think Kagiso Rabada was really good today, getting Bangladesh right on the back foot right at the beginning of the game. So just a word on that spell by Kagiso Rabada, and what wrong did the Bangladesh batsman do right in the start of the inning? That do you think it was good bowling, or do you think it was bad shot selection from the batsman?
No, no, I think it was they utilized the conditions better, because this is the first time we saw the ball swinging in Abu Dhabi, and bowling up to these batsmen, it was definitely going to trouble them. If you see the wickets which Rabada took, the second of, I guess, Soumya Sarkar, where he dismissed him on the first delivery, that ball came into Soumya Sarkar. That was not expected, and as soon as the ball started swinging a bit, South Africa, the bowlers with the pace which they have, they were always going to be dangerous. And I think the first power play completely gave South Africa the 2 points. It was just a matter of time when they, start bowl Bangladesh out and get those 2 points.
Exactly. And Ankit, coming to you, what was the highlight of the Kagiso Rabada spell that put Bangladesh right on the back foot in the beginning of the inning?
Yeah, I think it's tough to come back when you initially lose 3 wickets, that also in a quick succession. So I think initially they were on a back foot, and then the recovery part was hardly because any South African bowlers gave a chance to them to recover, and especially the economy of all the bowlers was absolutely brilliant, and that's what I said in the you know in the pre-match, that
Pre-match show.
if the ball Abu Dhabi is something where pace is always one of the key to handle the bowlers, and I think bowlers did their job pretty well, and the utilization of the bowlers from Bavuma was absolutely brilliant, and I think kudos to them. And now the only thing is to beat England, and I think they are through in the playoffs.
So I think Temba
Exactly. And
Bavuma did a great job as a captain today because if you see Liton Das, he struggles when he faces spinners up front. And starting off with Keshav Maharaj, I guess it was a good move. And it didn't bring Nokia into the attack for quite some time just because Liton Das was there. So I think Bavuma did a great job there. He got Tabriz Shamsi in, who got Liton Das eventually out. So I think South Africa got all the pieces of the puzzle pretty much correctly today.
exactly. And Cricket Da Kashan seems to be asking, Ronak Bhai, where are you? So I would just like to tell everyone that Ronak will be joining the stream in a matter of a very few minutes. So do stay tuned. And there seem to be a lot of fans for Ronak Sir, our very well known Ronak Sir. So do wait for just a few minutes. He'll be right here on the stream to cover the pre-match show for the Pakistan Namibia game. So coming back to this game, guys, South Africa sealing the win by 6 wickets. So I would just like to ask you the impact of Bangladesh batsmen on this game, because 85 runs is never enough in any T20 on any stadium, and howsoever the pitch conditions are, 85 is way too less than the par score. So what did Bangladesh do wrong in order to just ensure that they just put 85 on the board? Do you feel that after the first 3 wickets fell, even if they would have played sensibly, after that they would have gotten to somewhere around 120, 130 maybe?
Yeah. I think it was very necessary for Bangladesh to stitch a good partnership in the middle, but they eventually weren't able to do that. So I think South Africa, when they had a grip of the game, they grabbed it with both their hands. कि ये game हमें नहीं जाने देना हाथ से. Because this is a crucial game. This was a crucial game for them because now see the net run rate is very good for South Africa, like we mentioned, and the pressure is completely on Australia because maybe Bangladesh may falter against Australia as well, but the margin will be the key. How do they perform? I mean, do they score runs? Do they, take the game till the end? That will be interesting to see. So I think the pressure is now rightly, as Ankit mentioned, that the pressure is now on Australia to get the job done in the next game.
Exactly. And Ankit, coming to you, I think all the eyes are going to be on the Australia game that they play in a couple of days' time, if I'm not wrong. But what do you feel about the question I asked Abhinav as well as you?
Well, I think this is a totally different South Africa which we are witnessing, though, because they have been through many controversies in the last couple of weeks, and being going through such situations and then coming back and then delivering such performances is one of the tough things. Even many people were doubting, including me, the exclusion of Faf du Plessis, but I think they have did a pretty good job. I mean, looking at the results, I think 3 matches they have won. So I think they are one of the best chance. And even if they lose the next match, and I would be a pretty happy fan of them because I think they have done pretty. Out of 5 matches, they have won 3, and I think most probably they will qualify unless Australia does something miracle. So this is one of the best South Africa, and I personally hope that the same thing continues as post World Cup, because we don't want some such performance for a small period of time. We want such performance to keep on going as the tournament extends, and I hope they can even be a contender to win the World Cup.
Well, surely, and that's all we have in the post-match for the first game. South Africa winning by 6 wickets and almost making sure that they will be there in the semi-final. They have almost sealed the semi-final spot. So thank you very much, Abhinav and Ankit. We will now go ahead with the pre-match show of the second game, of which we have the toss in just 4 minutes. So I would like to add Sanchit as well as Ronak and Arjun to the stream. So we will do that in just a second. Yes. Hi,
Thanks,
Sanchit.
thanks. Hi, Amog, and your faulty network. I mean that
Yes.
relationship is beyond explanation. But
Yeah.
yes, it's time to move, take our attention to the second match on the day, and we could already see lots of comment regarding this match. Abdullah Amir is back in the comment section. He's saying that he is the Gambhir of Pakistan team, and very rightfully so, because whenever he predicted that Pakistan was gonna lose, they went on winning the match. So let's see what he predicts today. इसे संचित का तो मैं भी बड़ा फैन हूँ अरे वाह दिल जीत लिया I really needed this smile because if you have me added on Instagram and Twitter you might have known what kind of a rant I did about the Indian cricket team but we are not here to talk about Indian cricket team let's just keep that for a side because वरना रौनक आके मुझे भी मार देगा but yes let's speak about India not India sorry Pakistan and Namibia so for these two teams have been I mean, let's face it. Namibia are a side with a win in the second group, so we can't just say anything negative about Namibia. And their story has been magnificent. Always. I mean, Ronak was very vocal about Namibia's story in this format and what kind of a record they had since 2019. So, Ronak, let us begin by talking about Namibia. So, we have a toss in about 3 minutes' time. But Namibia's journey in this World Cup, man, who could have thought that they would be entering into the Super 12s? Ahead of likes of Ireland and Netherlands for that matter. They beat both of them. They even managed to win against Scotland in the Super 12s by getting the first win ever in this format. So in this World Cup. So what are your thoughts on Namibia and what words would you like to give to the Namibian cricket fans who would be tuning in to watch this historic game?
Before I go ahead and talk about Namibian, what it means to them, let me just remind you that their three premium fast bowlers are left armers. So you know what is the retrospect of that. So and that is our last game of the tournament as well. So nothing going by that factor. I say that Namibia has a good chance, but let's be honest. Today's game, जितना भी I say that Namibia should give a competition. जितना भी बोलूं कि Namibia might give a tough fight, but Pakistan maybe are way too good in this to have been way too good in this tournament to maybe to get defeated by Namibia. So it I think it is highly unlikely. But if they if they give a tough competition to Pakistan, I think that will be their achievement because the last time they met, I guess they lost by 170, 180 odd runs. So I'm not the one to go by records, but Namibia versus Pakistan, I feel no disrespect to Namibia is a mismatch, but let's see if they provide some competition, it would be a great boost for the not just for Namibia, the players who are playing, but for the whole country in Namibia who likes whom or the fans in Namibia who are willing to watch cricket in their country. So the cricket fans in Namibia would be very happy about this, very proud about this. Already they have got one win in the World Cup stage, which we cannot boast of. At least we cannot boast of, but they can boast of about that. And if they go on to register one more win in this tournament, that would be huge for their cricketing structure back home. We know they are not going to qualify, but if they go on to win one more match in this tournament, then it would be like a celebration over there in back in Namibia. And if this happens, I would be the most happiest person on this planet because from day one I have been seeing their fighting spirit, which we are lacking in some sense. But I'm seeing their fighting spirit and the way they are conducting themselves on the field. So that has been a very big revelation for this at least tournament, and it gives a sense of pride to what Namibian cricketers are looking forward. The first day I saw them crying on the national anthem, them and PNG, of course, both of them were crying on their national anthem being played on a world level. So that gives a lot of perspective on what it means to them. What does it carries for them? So them performing all out and giving a tough fight to Pakistan would mean a lot of good mean a lot of good to maybe Namibian fans over back home.
Not just Namibia fans, Ronak. I mean, it would be a lot of good to cricket overall, because we have
Yeah.
seen lots of one-sided match and the World Cup being deemed as boring in terms of results. So watching Namibia fight, that would be incredible as well. But you spoke about celebration back home. There is one team that is definitely going to celebrate whether whatever happens, because Pakistan have been on a dream roll. So Ankit has rightly mentioned, Pakistan are living their dreams right now. I mean, UAE, they are on a 13 match win streak. And when was the last time you could say in this format? Because T20 is a game of
Afghanistan was on
uncertainty.
a 16 match win streak when they lost to Pakistan
Exactly.
in
So
UAE.
that
In
just
UAE.
shows the Asian dominance in this condition. So Arjun, quickly moving to you. So we might get the toss news while you are answering for that matter. But
Before you ask to Arjun, just one thing: don't say Asian domination. You can exclude one team from that.
well, I thought that we will be a little bit lenient on India for that matter, but let's so it's okay. So, Arjun, your thoughts on Pakistan's journey so far in this World Cup? I mean, they have been a team to beat, to be very honest. One of the top teams in this World Cup, without doubt. England and Pakistan, I do think that they are the most probable finalists at this moment. So, your thoughts on Pakistan, and what could this game mean to them? Do you see them making any changes to maybe test their bench strength, or would you like to go in with the same 11 for them?
So historically, what we know about Pakistan, like even though in big tournaments they've been doing well, they're always the unpredictable team who will suddenly play really well or suddenly flop. But this tournament, they have just proven consistency. They've been so consistent in their performances. They have got all their box ticked. Like for a T20 team, when you look at the template, we first look at its solid opening pair, middle order explosive batsmen, two spinners, left arm pacer. They have everything sorted. They have a 145 plus bowler who can bowl slow variations. They have the Yorker bowler. They have everything. That probably the only area where they may have a concern is Hassan Ali's form. But we know how good a player Hassan Ali is. That if he plays well, like he can be a match winner on his day. Like today, they'll be looking at that. Hassan Ali is found to be the only thing they'll be looking at for to complete the whole puzzle. Otherwise, they look like the perfect outfit, and I think they should go with the same team. They should not test the bench strength or anything. They should just go with the same momentum and look to continue the winning streak. And they should look for they've already placed at the top with the great net run rate, but to be completely safe, they should look for complete like a big margin of victory or something like that to completely sit on top without any worry at all. So they'll be looking to just bully Namibia and continue the domination. And apart from that, just really even though I'm an Indian fan, hardcore Indian fan, it's like really nice to see Pakistan putting up such consistent performances. Like we know what all like they're not able to play in their home country much. There are not too many series going on at their home. So now with such a if let's say they win the cup or something like that, countries will be ready to come and play in Pakistan. Probably Asia Cup might happen in Pakistan, knowing that they are a T20 World Cup champion. So, like for the cricket, also, it's a really good thing that Pakistan continues playing this well, continues dominating, and this match is definitely going to be one of those matches where we'll get to see their domination.
Exactly, yes. And while you were speaking, the news has just come in from the center that Babar Azam indeed won the toss and they have elected to bat first. So Abdullah in the comments, his wish he has seemed to be granted. So Pakistan, I think it was obvious because they obviously won all the three matches and they would want to test themselves batting first before they go on into the big match, playing in the semi final, which at this point looks like a Pakistan South Africa semi final. I mean, it can be Australia, you never know, but they would want to test their batting strength for that matter. So Ronak, coming to you. So Pakistan have named the 11 and they are going in with the same team. So I think Arjun was right and spot on with his prediction about that. So your thoughts on the toss? Pakistan batting first, backing the same team to do the same job, but while batting first. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I feel they should have gone like this. Why take any chances? Maybe if Namibia give them a tough fight, then just for the sake of it, if they have lost the match, I know that seems highly unlikely. That seems highly drastic, but Pakistan in the past have done that against few weaker teams, and in the sense of experiment, we did what we did against New Zealand. uh, Pakistan wouldn't have like to do any sort of jugglery between their lineup. Just play with your playing 11. If they are fit and fine, just go with them. And you are getting enough time, enough rest time for a T20 match. Like 2 or 3 days for each 20 T20 match is good enough, I feel. So just go in with your playing 11 and stick to the combination. That will do a lot of good for you in the knockouts, because you will have a proper. Because I don't think this Pakistani side have played a lot together, as far as I can recollect, that this Pakistani team is actually playing together after a long time, or maybe few players are playing for the first time for Pakistan. Even three players, I feel that they did their debut in the World Cup itself against India. So they also want to test how their till now their matchup, their combinations has been a spot on. So I feel they would like to give themselves more 3 4 more chances in the knockouts, to before the knockouts, to prove themselves that this is the best team that they have. If they have any flaws, then they would like to figure it right now in the playing 11. Why? So if it is going well, why should they break it? And maybe they would like to beat Namibia by a bigger margin, so that there is no question about them finishing at the top of the table.
Exactly. Yes, Mohit is saying that if he would have won the toss, points table could have been different. It's lots of ifs and buts right now. I know that he's not complaining, but there is too much to ponder upon. But you can't just solely depend on the toss. You have seen teams winning the match while defending. I mean, Afghanistan have done it twice now, so I don't see the reason just to blame the toss for that matter. But coming
Mohit
back
just
to this
DM.
match.
Sorry, Sanjit. Mohit just DM me, bro, if you want me to go West Indies mode.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Coming back to Namibia here, Arjun. So obviously, at the toss, Erasmus said that he would have wanted to ball first, because I think the matches that they won in this tournament, three of them have been while chasing. And David Vise and Erasmus, both of them contributed massively with the bat in order to get the runs done. So I think Namibia wouldn't mind the bowling first again this Pakistan side, because they do have a good left armer in Truffleman. So Arjun, your thoughts on this? This could be a good game if let's say Namibian bowlers turn up like they did against Scotland, because let's face it, Pakistan batters haven't been exactly tested against quality bowling yet, and also the conditions for that matter. So batting first, it is obviously going to be a big challenge for them right now. So we may see a good game at least in the first innings for that matter. So your thoughts on that?
So generally, Pakistan is known to be the side to have three left-arm pacers and an attack with left-arm pace. So first time they'll be against a team with so many left-arm pacers. So that will be interesting on seeing how they play that. And yes, the way they bowled against Scotland was incredible. Like it felt like a football score when Namibia was bowling. So I'm hoping for something like that. Like obviously not that drastic, but something competitive to take on the Pakistani top order, because I believe their openers are their main, their key factor. So probably if they get them cheaply, it will be a really interesting match for all of us to watch. We all want a competitive match at the end of the day. Even if Pakistan win as expected, if it's a close fought match, it's really good for cricket. So we hope that it's not going to be a walkover for Pakistan, and there's a little bit of fight shown by Namibia. And David Vise is a very important player for them. Like I'm an RCB fan, so I've been following him for a long time. So I really hope that we see David Vise putting up a really good fight against Pakistan. I guess he's played PSL also a lot, so he's familiar with all these players, Pakistani players. So he can be that senior guy who can lead from the front and put up a good fight against Pakistan.
Definitely, yes. And Abdullah is making a point that he wants to see at least some kind of changes when Pakistan take on Scotland. I mean, I really envy these Pakistan fans. I mean, they have had it so easy so far. They could even think, ki, Arey, haan, we should think about making a change in the next match. Ye match jo bhi hua chalega. And when you look at what is happening just across the border for our team, it really just it's really can't say anything. So maybe that would be the case. He wants to see Wasim Junior as a bowler and Nawaz as an all-rounder. Maybe Haider Ali for a batsman. So you might see Pakistan making those changes provided that they win this game. So Ronak, coming to you about Pakistan once again. So bowling first, I think this is a win-win situation for both the teams as far as the toss is concerned. But if I ask you
Yeah,
to name one or two players from that Pakistan team who you think will light up the stage once again, then who would they be?
man, Lala Junior maybe again going for him, Lala Junior. So Science Afridi, I feel, would again break the backs of Namibian batters again. Uh, and I see only one player who can, or one or two batters from Namibian team who can maybe restrict and put a respectable total. That are JJ Smith and maybe David Vasey. So this these two I can think of that would put a fight against. Though the whole team is together, the whole team is, as a playing as a unit. But I feel that Shaheen Afridi will be too good for them. And from Pakistani team, one more if I had to name, then in batters, of course, Mohammad, Mohammad Rizwan. I would say that he would just steamroll over the whatever the total they steamroll and put a huge total in the first in batting first, I guess.
Yes, Ankit is saying that Hafiz needs to perform as they are close to knockout. So I think that is one missing link.
If they get to Hafiz first, if Hafiz gets to bat first today.
Yeah, that is the case, because I think that is going to be the missing link for Pakistan, because so far it has just been those performances at the top of the order, one or two cameos from Shoaib Malik, and then the Asif Ali show at the end. So if Hasib turns up, then Pakistan will be without any kind of weakness. So that would be a thing to watch. Abdullah, I mean, lots of want to see that, but unfortunately, with everything that is going around off the field, so this may not happen. But we never know what would be the case on that. Ankit is saying, watch out for Erasmus. Yes, the Namibian skipper. So, same question to you, Arjun. Pakistan, two players to watch out for, and also from Namibia. So, you agree with what Ronak had to say, David Vise and Erasmus?
Yes, yes, David Vise definitely, and Erasmus has been one guy who's been under the radar. Like he's also been playing really well, like an unknown player. But this tournament he's proved that he can also match up with the names of David Vise and be on par with him. So yeah, I agree with Ronak. Coming to Pakistan, like from a Pakistan point of view, they'll want Hassan Ali and Mohammad Hafiz to click. If these two click, then it'll be a perfect situation for them leading up to the semi-finals. So yeah, I would go for both of them for putting up a good performance today.
Interesting. Yes. So
Yeah.
that helps gets us down to the last segment of our pre-match show. So it's time for our prediction. So I mean, let's face it, prediction की अगर result की बात है तो it's not worth it. But let's just have a little bit of fun as well. So let's just predict the first inning score here for that matter, because we haven't seen Pakistan bat first at least since the warm up here. So Ronak, starting with you, Pakistan batting first. Your prediction for the first inning score along with the top run scorer for Pakistan.
Wait, I'll be not diplomatic, and I'll do something weird over here. I'll support Namibia today, just for the sake of it, just as a Namibia fan, because I have been a huge voucher for Namibian cricket and the way they have shown their cricket. So I will say they will bowl out Pakistan for around 120, 130, and the biggest runner scorer in their ranks maybe today will Mohammad Hafiz. चलो तुम भी खुश हो लो. मोहम्मद हाफिज वो थोड़ा रन बना लेंगे आज, चलो उनको फॉर्म मिल जाएगा. तुम वर्ल्ड कप जीतो, लेकिन आज आई फील दैट नमीबिया को मैं चांस दे रहा हूँ टू विन, जस्ट एज अ फैन ऑफ नमीबियन क्रिकेट, नॉट नथिंग अगेंस्ट पाकिस्तान, but just as a fan of Namibian cricket, I want to see something happening on the field. And from Namibia, I feel that JJ Smith with the key, because uh, he's the all rounder that won the matches, won them the matches in against Scotland and even against Bangladesh. I feel so. Those two matches that they won, I feel that JJ Smith in the last match was the highest run scorer as well, being a bowler also. So he's the perfect all rounder that Namibian cricket might need today. And I feel I'm vouching for Namibia today. Let's see what happens.
Well, let's just say if Namibia goes on to replicate what Ronak had to predict here, that would not just mean, I mean, instead of Pakistan fans being upset, Indian fans will be a little bit worried after that, because we are yet to face Namibia, and with all these, I really don't trust this permutation and combination. Ki, "Arey, ye hoga to we'll qualify." I have already set it in my mind that we are not going to qualify, so it will be a bit troublesome for them also when they'll see Namibia performing like that. So if that happens, then this World Cup story is going to be really, really different for that matter. But coming to you, Arjun, your prediction for the first innings, and you can even go on talking about Namibia as well in the second innings.
So normally I am a kind of guy who supports for the underdog and wants these small teams to play well. But like what Sanjit has said, it Namibia even puts up a fight. It'll give them incredible confidence against India. So I want them to be like thrashed by Pakistan, and so that India can at least like get a big margin of victory against them, because we need all the net run rate we can. So yeah, so I see Pakistan completely dominating, like Babar and Rizwan show at the top, and Fakhar Zaman is one guy I feel like really selfless guy, because he used to be an opener for them in ODI and T20, and now Rizwan and Babar has just toppled that position. So he's holding on to number three spot, but I don't think he's fit for that. So he's become a flexible player now. So I want him to put up a good match winning performance. He can be that X factor at number three, and Fakhar Zaman is due for a big knock. So I see Fakhar Zaman also putting up a really good show. In case the top order flops, he can be like a third opener in their team who can give them the acceleration they need. So yeah, I'm predicting like a good 170, 180 kind of score for Pakistan.
170, 180. I think that would be game, set, and match. So, cricket that Tashan has questions for both of us, Ronak sir. So I'll just answer this first before you get to answer that. So I think yes, they are capable of scoring over 130 against Pakistan, because they have already done it in the toughest of conditions in the qualifiers as well. So they have done it against Ireland and Netherlands, yes, but even at that time they were having a good bowling attack. So I do see them scoring over 130, especially batting second. I think with all the dew factor coming in Abu Dhabi, that would be much more easier for that. Plus, Pakistan will be having a little bit of trouble adjusting to the dew factor, because they haven't bowled second in this tournament yet. So maybe if that happens, then I do see them scoring on 130. But to expect them winning the match will be a little bit far fetched. So I do see a good performance put up by Namibia, but Pakistan will be just too heavy for that day. Ronak sir, you can answer the second question.
Yeah, so I'll break down the three names. Fakhar Zaman, he has a lot of time, so he can go in domestic and maybe prove himself. So in an urgent basis, Fakhar Zaman is not the one out of these three names. Shoaib Malik, let's be honest, he was just there for the World Cup gimmick. I don't see him continuing with the Pakistan playing 11 after the World Cup. He is over for me. His cricketing days are over for me as far as I'm concerned. Only player which I feel that can continue for an 1.5 years is Hafiz, because of his bowling prowess that he provides as a spinner also. So if he gets into batting, then he might go on to play for maybe one or couple of years maybe. So I feel that if Hafiz does good with bat today, so in an urgent form matters, if breaking down the three, then Hafiz would be Professor Hafiz would be the one which I will feel that should be the one to get the form in an urgent basis.
Exactly. Yes. Omkar is saying Hafiz Sawai Zalata, which in Marathi translates to age has caught up with Mohammad Hafiz. So maybe he's disagreeing with you, Ronak, here. But anyways, before we wrap up, there is one important announcement that we at Third Man Cricket Show have to make. So starting tomorrow, that is 3rd November, till 7th of November, we will be having our live sessions from 12 p.m. IST to 1 p.m. IST. Yes, 12 p.m. IST to 1 p.m. IST. So instead of doing shows at 6:45 and 2:45, we'll be having just one show per day, and that will be at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. because of all the uh, availability concerns,
Festivities.
festival availability concern due to festival season. That is why we had to make these changes. So we hope to see a good number of audience in the comment section as well, starting tomorrow 12 p.m. So that would be a fun thing to do as well. But
Sanchit, before we end, I would like to take your comments on because hosts never get to their they get a free buy. Question puch lo ho gaya. I'd like to put you on a tough spot today and see and give you a tricky question. If Namibia wins, who will be their star player or
well,
two star player?
Ronak, the reason why I auditioned for hosting was because to avoid such questions like this, but you have actually spun a googly against me here. But if you ask me, then if Namibia goes on to win this match, then I see just one name coming up in my mind, because if they are going to win this match, they need a masterclass performance in their bowling. So when it comes to their bowling, I'm going in with the left arm pacer, that is Trumpelman, because I do believe that Pakistan will be tested against his pace, especially in the power play, because I do feel that the top order, Pakistan is still heavily reliant on the start that they are getting. So if they lose both Babar and Rizwan in the power play, then maybe Hafiz, Malik, and Fakar Zaman, who is still not sure about his place at number 3, they will have some kind of trouble. So if Namibia is set to win this match, then I'm expecting the left arm pacer to be the star player. And of course, David Vise, Erasmus, and JJ Smith, I think they will be the star players in their chase. But if you ask me one name, then I'll go with the bowler.
Yeah, sure, sure. I hope that they win.
Well, that would be some story for cricket itself, but we'll wait and
Yeah.
see what happens. So thanks Ronak, thanks Arjun, and thanks everyone who tuned in from 6:45 p.m. onwards. We had two shows today. We did the post match show for South Africa versus Bangladesh, which was hosted by Amog, Abhinav, and even Ankit here. So thanks for them also for joining us, and thank you everyone who tuned in the comments section as well regularly. I could see lots of regulars now: Omkar, Cricket Datashan, Abdullah, our friend from Pakistan, Ankit, and also many more who I forgot to mention. So we'll be back live again after the match ends in our post match session. So hoping to see a wonderful game in display in about 8 minutes time. So let's just hope that we have something nice to talk about after the match ends. So we'll be back with you for the post match show. Once again, a reminder from tomorrow we are going to be going live from 12 p.m. onwards. So do adjust your schedule. So because the Third Man Cricket Show will continue to give you the content that you love, but in a slight alteration of time. So till then, this is Sanchit Desai, your host, Ronak Kedia and Arjun Menon. This is us signing off. We'll see you after the match ends.